Good morning. This is Sheila, the PA Doll Lady, and it is a no ship Monday, so we're gonna do our show and tell early. This past weekend, I went to an auction house, and just when I thought I was about ready to leave, they pulled up the two tables of dolls that I had been sitting there waiting for a while. And I don't know, it may have not been that long, but I don't sit still for too long nowadays. I am just like go go go. There's always something to do, always something to get done. So it was just one of those things where I was like at the end of it, and I ended up that somebody they pulled up the sorry, I got some text. They pulled up the table just as I was about to tell the person that I was there with, like, hey, can you put in bids for these three, because I'm leaving. But I'm glad I stayed, because in staying I ended up with 3 bags worth of old vintage, not vintage, they're antique, most of them are antique dolls. So if you're new here, I sell dolls for a living, and I have been doing this for 4 years. One of the years was like part-time. I used to work for the state for 14 years, and I started this part-time, and then I joined a group, and that group kind of like showed me how to do things if I wanted to take it on a full-time basis. And I was like, okay, let's go. I tested it and it worked, and I have been full-time reselling, full-time rehoming dolls since 2023, I think, is when I went full-time, and I keep forgetting when it was. Yeah, second quarter of 2023 was when I went full-time. I started with roller skates, clothing, doll, anything other than dolls. Dolls I kind of fumbled into, but that is what I do now. So I've been in business since 2022, and I'm moving up on my 3rd full-time year come April. So 2 more months. Now, the decisions and the mistakes that I've made this week have me feeling like I just started yesterday and I don't know what the heck I'm doing, because I don't know. I'm very happy to say my little grandson was born on January 22nd, and I was gone for 2 weeks, and I came back from that 2-week hiatus, and I've just been flopping around like a fish out of water, just flopping all over the place. So anyways, the good thing that happened was these dolls. And I am a multi-figure seller. You would think I would have it put together by now, but I don't. So if you're here, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about being able to sustain ourselves, being able to do what we love, being able to ditch the 9-to-5, and yet still feel very uncomfortable in our own skin sometimes. Go figure. But I did see yesterday, because the universe works in very strange ways, but I logged in yesterday to Facebook, and this quote from Alex Armozy was there, and it said, successful people are those that are willing to look stupid the longest, or something along those lines. And I'm like, oh, thank God, because I am like stuck on stupid this week for whatever reason. So perfect quote for me. But onto the dolls. Let's look at the dolls that I got this past week by actually being patient and not leaving. All right, so first things first, most of these girls are redressed. They're either redressed or have other things that are not, necessarily authentic or of their time, let's just say. Okay, so this is an alt, let's see, alt Butchuk is what they have her listed as. And I just, for one, I love her wig. This would not be an authentic wig. This is a more modern wig. I'll take that out. And this is what she looks like, and that is her. I love her face. These are the markings on the back for her. There's an AB, I don't know what that other letter is, but anyways, made in Germany, 1362. She does have pierced ears, and her eyes are definitely replaced. Like, when it comes to antique girls, their eyes tend to be a lot more glass looking and more detailed. So her eyes are definitely replaced. They're pretty, but they're more modern. She has open mouth. So this is what we call the pate. The pate is where the wig goes on top of. And when I am shipping these girls, I will either, this girl looks pretty glued. I don't know that I'm going to take it off. I will usually cut a hole right on the top. If it's safe and she's not completely glued on like this one is right now, if it's not glued, I will take it off and stuff the head so that the eyes, for safe travel on the eyes. If it is glued on like this one, I will just cut a hole right here and then just put bubble wrap or tissue or something soft so that their eyes don't close, they don't open and close. So that's another another cue that these guys are replaced, or her these almost feel like plastic eyes to me, but she's beautiful nonetheless. So that's the first one that I got. I love her nose and her feathered brows. Love those feathered brows. It's like very faint on the feathering for her here. And I love that she has pierced ears. That's not it's not a normal thing all the time. So some makers from that time zone, I don't know, I wonder if, no, that's, yeah, that does look like it was. So yeah, she has pierced ears, beautiful face, beautiful replaced eyes for sure. Her hands are looking okay. Let's see. Yeah, her hands are looking okay. She's definitely got a more modern dress. She has composition body, and she has jointed legs, and joints means this right here. So she is jointed, and she's strung pretty tight. And by stringing we mean that her arms are not like dangling. Her arms are a little loose, but they're not like wiggling, like dangling loose. So her stringing is pretty good, meaning that the cord inside of her body is holding her limbs nice and tight. And I love her red replacement wig. It just makes her look so pretty. So she is one of the girls that I got. I'll put her to the side here. Second girl that I won is this one here, and you are G as in goat and B as in boy. GB Germany, and I love her like long face, and also like she has her chin, but her cheeks are like popping up a little bit. So I love the face composure of that one. I would say these eyes look a little bit better than the new ones that the other one has. I can't tell for sure if they're glass or not. Okay, so this is something that we do. This is the pate, and as you can see, her previous owner locked in her tissue and that kind of thing. Perhaps her eyes are, the little weight is still in here, and you know, they open and close, but we usually put this here so that we can safely transport them from us to the buyer. If you do not stuff their heads and you send them without stuffing their head, in transit, as that box is shaking left, right, and center, the little weight that's in here will rattle and usually will crack this. And this is a bisque. It's a very fine porcelain, but they call it bisque. So she is another one that I got, and she also has composition body, composition jointed body. This body looks a little bit small for this head, if you ask me, but I like her face, so I was in for it. And she's dressed to the T, as is most the dolls of this era. There goes her legs, and that's her whole body. So that's a GB. And excuse her hair, she's having a bad hair day right now, but that's because this wig is way too big for her, honestly. Yeah, if this is what they had on her, no wonder. Yeah, this wig is way too big for her. So I may just post her without a wig and let her new owner, you know, dress her up and get her all prettied up. She's beautiful. The next one that I got is this girl here. And she does have her sleepy eyes, and I love her mohair wig. I love her little detailed lashes, and also she has a very nice dress, as you can see. Not sure that these dresses are definitely modern. They are not era appropriate, as the collectors will say, although this jacket looks pretty nice, and I would still say it's probably a lot more modern than her era, but she looks very nice in it. This one is a 570 Simon Halbig. So that's what her form says. Let me see what her actual head says. Yeah, she looks very, very pretty. For some reason, the mohair wig just really does it for me. It's of their time, and also like it's easy for the collectors to kind of like mold it and curl them up and all that kind of stuff. It looks to me like I don't know if that's glue residue, but it looks like she has a tear. Might be that they were gluing her eyes. Let me see your eyes, girlfriend. Okay, she does have sleepy eyes, and that means that her eyes open and close when I lay her down. She has an open mouth with teeth. I need to brush her teeth because they look a little dusty. Her ears are not pierced, which is pretty normal. And she has her 570. She has her 570 up here marking, and then Simon Halbig S&H down here with a very light marking here. She does have a pate, and that pate appears to be pretty glued in. Sometimes I'll try to take them off if I can safely, and she definitely needs hers taken off because I cannot ship her with her eyes opening and closed. So either I will take off the pate safely, or I will put a little hole in the middle of it so that I can stuff it. Her body is jointed, and it seems her arms seem tight enough. I don't see any she's pretty tight. Her bisque head is pretty tight in here. I don't see much of anything wrong with her. She has a tiny little flea bite. Oh no, that was just dirt. So she looks pretty good. And let me see here. Her legs are a little bit loose, just a bit, but thankfully for us in the collecting community, this owner was nice enough to okay, so she actually has a damaged leg. So once I lift up her clothing, I would see that. Thankfully, this collector left information on her dolls, which I want to say to the doll collecting community, please do that for your dolls, especially if you don't have an estate plan where you know where your dolls are going and you're just like, I don't know where they're going. When I leave, I don't know what's going to happen. Give us some clues as to what they are. You know, your family member may be able to look them up and see what's valuable. Somebody like me will come in and kind of like, you know, go through your little forms and figure out, is it something that I could rehome or not? Is it something that I want to take on as a project or not? Especially for those of us that are not 100% versed in antique dolls. These girls are not easy to learn, and the learning curve is pretty steep. And Google images and all that good stuff that most sellers use, that doesn't work for us. That does not work for our antique girls. um, they will give you information. I'm not going to say it's the right information, but they'll give you information, and whether you use that, um, it's a whole different story. So please do us a favor and like label your girls, especially if you don't have a plan B for where they're going after you leave this earth, or even if you're going to like a nursing home or something like that. Like, most times, you know, we're retired and we're just collecting for the love of them and that kind of stuff. Make it a hobby to put one of these on your dolls so that we know what they are, and that you're attracting a market, either you selling them yourself or the next generation that's coming in that's really trying to keep this hobby alive. Help us to help these girls to continue their journey by labeling them. It's extremely important. I cannot scream that loud enough to the collecting community. Okay, so we got her. And then I was really very excited to come out of there with a $300 bill, which is that's not the normal. So I was very, very surprised that I got these girls for that price. It's about one of the good things that I've done this week, and I'm very happy with that. All right, the next one I bought more on outfit than I did on the doll. The doll is okay, but I love her outfit. And honestly, this might be like a homemade to look antique outfit. I think it might be one of those. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is actually. Feels really soft. I love her hat. It just makes her look so fancy. All the lace and tulle around it is just absolutely beautiful. Again, this doll collector was very helpful in her signing up her, identifying her dolls so that the rest of us could come in and just do the work, or keep the dolls if we wanted to, whatever you want to do. So she has bisque hands, and these bisque hands, to me, they look like they have been, these are more updated. But she has a beautiful little face, as you can see. Let me see if I could get her hat off. Yeah, this outfit just had me like all excited, because I figured, I was a little bit far away from the front and I could not see the girls in detail, and I had gone at the beginning of the auction to kind of inspect these other girls that I really, really absolutely wanted to bring home. They were 2 Kessner girls, but when I closely inspected them, their face had been shattered and they had just been put back together. So this is an Armand Marcel doll, and Armand Marcel made quadrillions of dolls back in their day. Her eyes look to me like they have been glued on the inside. Yeah, she does not have sleepy eyes. Her eyes are stationary. She still has, a little bit of a lighter eyebrow type of thing. She still has her little detailed eyelashes. Open mouth with teeth. Her teeth look good, so no brushing for this one. No pierced ears for this one. And the wig is replaced, and it's a newer, definitely a newer, like synthetic type wig. This is like the wig. This is one of the cues for me when I see certain dolls that have these kind of wigs, that it's not a buy. So the ringlets are more on the modern collector type dolls, not on the antique dolls. This girl should have her Armand Marcel stamped their dolls. So if you look in the back, she is a 370, and she has an AM 2.5 DEP on the back. So that is that one. Oh, where did I put her fancy hat? There it is. Yeah, with her fancy, cute, super cute hat. Very, very presentable girl. So this one, I I actually paid up a little too much for, but I got into a little bit of a bidding war for her. This is a Betsy McCall doll. She is one of the only, I think one or two of the only modern girls that I got this time around. But I usually put them in the store and they go out of the store pretty quickly. Again, thank you to the person for doing this. They've identified the girl and they've identified the doll's name and that kind of thing. So very helpful. Not sure that this dress is original, but let's see. Yeah, I'm not too sure if the dress is original or not. I will have to look that up. These girls have a little circle in the back with their name attached to it. And these are, for me, for my store, they tend to be really good sellers. So I grabbed her. Even though I probably should have left, this one I probably should have left go because she went a little bit too high. But we work on averages, so the average buy came out to be very, very good for this lot. Yeah, I'd say this is probably a mohair as well. And she's dressed very Victorian-ish. So I really like her costume. Very appropriate for her. And this one's another Armand Marcel. And she's known as the Flora Dora. She has beautiful brown eyes, open mouth, nice detailed wispy eyelashes, eyebrows, and very thinly put eyelashes. She has a nice little mohair wig. This one's pretty tight. And Armand Marcel, for the most part, they stamp or they incise their dolls. So she has that. I love her outfit. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I really love this whole Victorian. And this is an updated outfit. This looks like somebody just made it recent. Yeah, for sure. They made it recently. She feels like she has a cloth body, and a cloth body versus a bisque or composition body. You could just feel it because she's squishy. She does have bisque hands and she has a boo-boo on her finger. These hands look a little detailed, so to me it looks like they were hands. Another thing is that these heads were not necessarily sold with the body, so at any given point one factory was doing the body and another factory was doing the face. So it's not like one of those things, oh, the body's different, therefore she's not authentic. That's not how this works when it comes to these antique girls. Their heads have been swapped a gazillion times probably. I mean, they've been around for double my lifetime, that's for sure. So we got that one. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are like 23 minutes into the video. So I'm gonna cut it short just because I don't want to keep going. Maybe I'll make another one and kind of show you guys the rest of the dolls that I got. And I have to get to my coaching call this morning. And also eBay news, I did sell a very high caliber doll. I knew she was worth money. I didn't know how much money she was worth. And this is the one where I made a data entry error and I put her up for $4.99 instead of $14.99. Then I realized she was worth a lot more and had been selling for quite a few, routinely she sells for $1,900 on average. She's had quite a few sales that were higher and like 2 that were lower. So unfortunately, one of my other dolls sold and I did not realize that other doll had this doll's original dress and I had already shipped her. Ugh. So anyways, so that's one of the things that I've missed. I bought them like that. I bought them with their dresses switched up, but Yeah, I didn't realize that the other doll I sold had this girl's original dress. Had I known that, I probably would have swapped it. But since right now I have like half of my inventory in my storage unit, and then half of it here, because these girls are big, like 36 inches big. So they're clogging up my house. So I have half of it over there and half of it over here. I had posted and listed the other one. It sold right away. I shipped her. And then when I came and I started posting this one, I was like, oh crap, that dress belonged to this one. But the original owner has switched it, and I did not pay attention fast enough. One of the many fumbles of the week. So we're trying to get back into this week and trying to get back into the swing of things. Honestly, last week was just such a cluster that I feel like I just started a new job. Instead of working on year 4, I feel like I'm working on week 1. So I'm trying to mentally process and just calm the nerves and be okay with fumbling my way back into routine. And that's pretty much it. Like, we just have to keep going forward, right? Like, what else can you do at this point? So I have one very happy customer, the one that paid for the doll immediately. So one of the things that happened yesterday was that doll, I was gonna leave it go. I was really mentally tangled with accepting this offer or waiting for the full price, because I full priced her, but she was still hundreds of dollars under her sale price. So then I got an offer that was even lower than what I had listed her for. So I was really battling it out, because there was about 17 watchers to her. There was just, multiple questions, multiple picture requests, this, that, and the other. And I got a pretty high offer, and I was like, oh, I asked my group and everything, and everybody's like, take it and go, take it and go. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should wait. I had slept on it the night before. I slept on it because I was like, oh, maybe I'll wake up tomorrow, refresh, and just, wake up and be like, oh, sure, I'll take it, whatever. But I was struggling with it so bad. One of the few times that I'm actually struggling with something, because most times if I 5x the money, I'm out. I just grab the money and I'm out the door. But for whatever reason, I was struggling with it, and I posted about it, and everybody's like, take the offer and run. So I did. I accepted the first offer, and not even like an hour, I don't even know, like that was at the beginning of the morning when I was asking for opinions and whatever. And then later in the afternoon, the other person from the previous day that had been asking a million questions was like, I came to buy the doll, like I want it. And I was like, okay, well, it's pending an offer, but they haven't paid for it. So then we agreed on a different price, and I said, well, like eBay allows you to take whatever person pays first, essentially. And so she's like, well, I want it for this much. And I'm like, I will let whoever pays for it first get it. Like, that's what's gonna happen here. And so we ended up going with that offer, and which was a lot higher. So now we have somebody that's completely ecstatic about getting her doll, and we have another customer who's completely ticked off about not getting the doll because I accepted their offer, but they didn't pay for it right away. And I was like, I don't know, guys. I was just like, I don't know. Like, I think the whole point of it is that they allow multiple offers so that you as the customer understand, like, if you don't pay for it right away, you may lose your item. And that's what happened. And I shouldn't feel bad about it, but I do, because I'm like, I think I went back on my word. Maybe this was not a good idea, whatever. So I'm going to triple bubble wrap her today. And I checked Google, and it says that they do, UPS does work today. The post office is closed, but UPS works. So I want to get her out of my house and into this ecstatic collector right away. So I don't know. Sometimes you can't make everybody happy, and I don't know. Whatever. I guess on to the next thing, right? Have a good day out there.